Welcome to the Romanian River channel and my first impressions of The Last Federation, Lost Technologies DLC. Before I get started, slight disclaimer, the developers sent me a code for the game and for the DLC to do a first impressions on it. And yeah, it's gonna bias me a little bit, but to help things out, this isn't exactly my type of game. Too much strategy, too much plotting. You'll probably actually see it in the game I'm going to play. You'll see the fact that I'm not really used to this. I'm more of a hands-on type of guy. That's why, for example, games like Majesty never really caught with me. But getting on the game, enough about me. Versus the last DLC, the Lost Technologies DLC basically adds more technologies, a couple of ships if I'm not mistaken, and a new game mode for the advanced start. The quick start basically just starts you off in standard Federation formation. The tech race, which is new to the DLC, basically has you racing to get all the technologies. It's no longer required basically to either pacify or have every other race in the solar system in your federation, which was the goal of the vanilla game. Or if you're going with the other DLC, which flipped around the tables when you were one of the races, not the Hydrals, it was basically survive and be the last guy standing, or be the guy with the most friends left standing. That's it. We'll get on with it, just going with the... yeah, I always play AR mode. Getting on with the game. Now the standard start is standard for anybody who's played the original pre-DLC game. Actually, this was kind of difficult for me to adapt to because I'm used, as I said, to more hands-on stuff. But once you get used to the whole fact you're not controlling most beyond your own ship and more or less forceful suggestions to races who actually have the capacity to build ships, yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of pilots. Now for anybody who's never played The Last Federation or doesn't even know what it is, basically you are the last survivor of a all-powerful race within the solar system that used to subjugate everybody around them through force of might. That did not really work out too well because, well, they managed to keep all the spacefaring capable races at the level just underneath spacefaring. It didn't stop them from getting wiped out by a rather ingenious plan. And you, being the last survivor, were captured by a race. The race, depending on how you set your starting parameters, can be any one of the ones that killed off your mother race. And it will also affect the ship you have and the types of weapons the ship has. For example, the prototype suppressor, is an Andor ship, if I'm not mistaken. These are Andor. Not to be mistaken with the blue antennae dudes from Star Trek, but yeah, that would have been a bit too much fun. Having Fran floating about trying to convince the Pigskins not to join the Federation. That would have been actually quite interesting. Developers make that whole Andorian thing possible. I'm looking for pilots really because they can actually help you get your standings back up, because for those who don't know the game, the race you pillage the ship you're gonna be using for the whole game from start with a negative 100 standing towards you, and if you're starting off with random, it could be useful to actually have pilots to free exchange back, so you get some standing back. Actually, let's tone down the volume quite a bit on these sound effects. Quite annoying. That should help me be a bit more audible. Now, personally, this type of game really doesn't suit me, but it can be fun on the odd occasion. Oh yeah. Now this is your basic system map. You don't get a star map. The Boreans are quite a bit of a bitch to deal with. Now, the race you pillage the ship as also get a outpost on your destroyed homeworld, which is quite lovely, but yeah. The homeworld itself is basically an outpost. Let's actually have a light discussion with these guys. Really? +2? For taking the time to... no. Now, personally, for the game itself, I prefer using these guys and these guys as my basis for the Federation. They work quite well together, and if you can actually keep this guy alive, because he's quite... well, think of the Cylon... the Cylons? Yeah. Cylons, actually, with a P. From Master of Orion. They're basically that. Weak in a fight, but very tech savvy. And if you get them up to speed, I mean get their whole planet up to snuff, could be quite a useful race. Out of the other ones, I think for this example of a playthrough, I'm gonna go with these guys to try and convince them to also join. But beyond possibly these guys and these two I really do not like. These guys are basically, well, smarter versions of Starship Trooper bugs. They actually have ships for one. They're not relying on spores to spread around, and they are a pain in the canastas. Ooh, we best get these guys up. The friendly intervention delivers spacefaring tech gets you quite a bit of favor with the race, of course. Of course, delivering it is another issue, because the other spacefaring race, which is by default the one that the one that had the prototype you stole, will have not so much a defensive network as a spy network, designed to keep you away and spy on the race itself. You have to avoid these, or you get negative standing with the race itself. But this can be seen, at least with one, it's not too hard.
The Skylarksians are now spacefaring. They are an advanced species and disapprove of your race's past actions. However, they may just be the key to forming a federation, as their powers of persuasion over the other races are non-trivial.
Kinda like that. It's technically speaking the onboard AI. Being the last survivor of your race, yeah, you're stuck spending a lot of time talking to a robot. You're also gonna try and get these up and these guys up and get them as formed as possible. Possibly curve stomp these guys. Because they really pissed me off with the whole, oh, you only get +2 to your influence. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, go fuck yourself. Now, as you can see, another racist probes is in the area, which have a different pattern, which makes things quite a bit more interesting. Actually, let's go this way. You could swear they actually sense me, but
The epochs are now spacefaring. Extreme caution is advised. They are not aggressive, but are incredibly dangerous when cornered. These are the same beings who wiped out most of your population with mysterious technology.
that's the problem with getting spotted. They apparently don't like people getting their neighbors up to speed. Let's see if we can make it through this. We don't really give a shit about the Andors. They're not blue enough for my taste. This looks Dark Soulsian in difficulty, to be honest. There. Come on.
The Borines are now spacefaring.
Yes.
They are solitary and dangerous. They may be a difficult ally.
Okay, now we gotta get these three working together. But first and foremost, not too much environmental and not too much order. I'll get them up. First and foremost, let's get their economy up. That should be sufficient for now. Let's see, improve relations. Should help quite a bit. These guys are somewhat spy masters, but first let's get them up to snuff. Should be sufficient. The other guys are going to be taking a while. The Peltians we really do not fear because, well, communist agrarians. If they are communist industrialists, yeah, we'd fear them. Capitalists, yeah, they're gonna be problematic, but 25 minutes. These guys are the worst. And these guys just don't really give a damn. They'll spread as much and as far as possible. So let's make sure they don't spread fast enough. What do we need to do here? Industry. We gotta make sure everybody's up to snuff before those guys come up. If not, we're going to have a very bad game.
I always like the Andors. Pity they just got wiped out. The Borines just captured a planet. That's all I have to say about that. The Peltians are now spacefaring. They're soft and weak. However, they have a penchant for blowing things up from orbit. They may be easy allies to win over.
Okay. Now. These guys usually need help with their armadas. Public order could do a buff. This is basically most of the game in my point of view. Others deal with more, how should I put this? Nuances, more Machiavellian stuff. Me, I just take a hammer and work at it until it works right. Either that or the, what are they called, the Thoraxians or however it's pronounced, ruffle stomp everybody, which happened in my last 4 games. That's why I really hate those guys.
The Acutian capitalists are now spacefaring. Extreme caution is advised. These are the same beings that destroyed your homeworld. The burlesque warlords are now spacefaring. Extreme caution is advised. They seem likely to take their constant internal wars to the solar stage.
What do we need for the evox? Okay, so these guys need more standing with the evox.
Ugh, another computer virus. LXA isn't really deadly, but it sure is going to put a dent in their industry.
Alexei. Understood, Alexei. Absolutely wrecks the robots, it affects industry and space construction flows. Don't we have enough money? No, we don't. Okay, then you guys need help.
The Thoraxians are now spacefaring. Searching dictionary for a phrase more urgent than extreme danger. Done. Imminent doom is today's advisory.
Let's see. What do we need for this? Okay, so we need credit. Which you can usually get helping with armadas.
So yeah, the Peltians are out of it. Turns out that using rocks and logs in the forest to fight mechanized troops Only works in the movies.
That I never heard before. That's a episode 6 reference, isn't it? Yeah, no wonder I didn't like those guys. They're freaking Ewoks. $300. Damn it. Okay, so we need to keep them on friendly terms. Well, the Peltians are sure fighting, but we're too busy conspiring. So you're the Federation guy, so let's see. Client must be 300, okay. I'm gonna have to bomb the shit out of those guys someday. Xeno blah blah blah. Much more valuable. Lower influence, but much more money. Okay. Usually this beats the crap out of me because okay, so they're trending upwards. That's good. But let's give it a nice push. After I show you guys how this works, which is basically an exercise in for me. Now let's give the gun more power. Q basically keeps you in place, and let's focus on something. Shoot. Okay, do we have any? We need to boost up the shields quite significantly, but we don't need. There he is. Okay, so I found a way to do this mission on screen, which is never a bad thing. Now, who's invading them? Thoraxians. But it's not anything too bad. Okay, that's good enough. When is that good enough, period? Nope, these guys also need convincing. God, I hate this micromanagement. It's quite annoying even for a more classical RPG, and I'm gonna go with those in future Let's Plays too. But damn, oh. This is a wee bit much in my terms. Still, the game as itself is quite fun. If it is also your kettle of fish, that's even better. Did we get up? Requirement? Yes. Please let me be able to invite them. Okay, we don't have enough money. Seems rather prophetic, to be honest. We need something that's fast. Faster anything? No. 9 months it is. Now please get these guys at the Federation. Okay. Do we get any cash? Yes, we do. We go where the money is. And it doesn't seem too well guarded. 1, 2. Ooh, it's getting a bit hectic. Let's go this way. 4 flagships. Really should divert some more power to weapons. Oh yes, that's a bit better. Now the reason I like this ship more than the other three I've tried with different races is the fact that it has a self-defense missile system, which can be quite useful in negating damage. Plus the selection of weapons on the ship is not too bad either. Yeah, they're bugs, I don't give a shit. Get me swing by and get him. They should give our weapons a considerable kick. Auto fire best when facing swarms of fighter craft. There we go. Quite annoying when they use this attack pattern, because if you get stuck in the middle, they have a blink. Damn! Last playthrough they had clocking technology, which was quite annoying as you can imagine. Now they blink. Well, you can't blink your way out of that one. This one does not seem to have a blink. Nice. Tiamat being their homeworld. Okay. Here. Yeah, the demonstrators are quite annoying because they can randomly attack you if you become too much of a pain in the arse, so to say. Friendly. Let's try and see if we can get these guys on board. This first impressions will last up until minute 45. Because basically, once you get the Federation rolling, there's very few events that can really make things a bit more difficult. The basic things that can happen is either a race establishes a counter to your Federation with other races, like, what was it called? The Union of Free Systems, I think it was, or Free Planets, something like that, the last time I played. Or they can get up to various other crazy shit. Who's the lead? Frapul. Let's see if we can get him. Oh boy, this is going to be hard. This is the only way you can get these guys on board. One of the main reasons I hate them, but at least they actually talk. The bugs... Are they close? My arse. God damn, this is gonna take a while. About 25 turns, more or less. Oh, these are painful. If you get defeated in combat, by the way, you don't die, but you spend X amount of months basically doing absolutely nothing. I'm gonna have to boost speed. Yeah, that attack I can never really deal with. But the Federation is pretty much established. Now it's just grinding them to paste. We could actually, let's see. Very little influence, but if I'm not mistaken, to get them to join the Federation is desolate. Let's see. Invitations. The Acution's the last one, right? Okay, 300, 300. That shouldn't be too hard. Let's just make sure they live that long. Should be a sufficient fleet. If we get the Skylaxians on board. Okay. No. Need something. Holy hell. I should do.
Red rash outbreak. That actually tends to quiet down crime, so I guess that's good?
Burlust pirates. Allied. Okay, where are the hostiles? Oh god, that's gonna end badly for him. You know what? Actually focus fire on them for once. And that would be that. The borings are doing quite nicely. So, back here, no, back here, to provide some more help. That should keep that under control for a while at least. Now you guys are missing a lot of production. No, we do not have enough money. We have space junk though. This also should have space junk. Your local neighborhood trash collectors. Okay, let's see about getting the executions invited. And that puts us in a very powerful position now. I'm just here to harvest space junk. Oh, no space junk? How about here? Space junk being the remains of ships. Something I quite specialize in. But yeah, just to wind down this first impression of the Last Federation and its DLC, The Lost Technologies, which launched a couple of weeks ago. To be blunt, this game really isn't my kettle of fish, but on the whole, no bugs. And if you like the sort of game where you're a megalomaniacal, last surviving of your species individual who loves poking and creating havoc in a solar system, this is quite a good one to go with. The Lost Technologies DLC does do quite a decent job of adding in more fun elements to the mix. So yeah, recommended if it's your sort of thing. Thank you for watching, and until next time, buff the